Hey guys, welcome back to Frenemies. I'm Ian. We're back with more Arrow. Finally! Been waiting all week since last episode for this one. Like, Jesus. I'm so excited. So Mia and all the other future kids been sent to our time. Which I'm assuming is like, I don't know if it's doing the same thing right now. But I know I've gotten to the point where in the comics, or I've gotten past this point now, but to the point in the comics where future and past and present stuff gets mixed up on Earth. So I'm thinking that's why. I'm not sure if it's like directly the Monitor who's doing it, but I think but it might be, that's what's caused, why they flashed the kids to our time, which is great, because all to see his kid, both his kids actually, not just Mia and grown-up William, who hasn't seen his dad since, well, this time basically. So he knows what he looks like before, which is you can see like how much, like, apart from the whole thing with Zoe, because I mean that God, it's terrible. Like, that was still affecting them, but seeing that, it obviously affected Mia too. But seeing him, like, that he sees his dad, you can see it definitely hit him as well, in a slightly different way. But it's just great because I mean it's kind of like how Barry got to see Nora last season. So I'm glad I kind of like that Oliver gets to see his kids too. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting because I mean they're just dealing with the stuff that happens after Crisis. So I don't know how, because Dig hasn't adopted Connor yet. So it's gonna be interesting for Dig to realize that he's gonna end up having to adopt Connor, and maybe we'll find out what happened to his dad, Ben, right? Ben Turner. That's it. Gotcha. I'll get it down eventually. And there's the fact that neither Renee nor Dinah knew that Oliver had a daughter. That Felicity and them, that they had a kid together. So I'm wondering how they're gonna take that. I mean, this itself is probably gonna might for at least a bit keep them from kind of getting into that, considering this is like kind of a hit to the face, like, what are these kids doing here? And then Renee's also gonna have to deal with the fact that his kid didn't make it in the future. She just died for the kids. So, like, that's gonna tear him up because I mean he sees his daughter right now. Like, so seeing, like, kind of knowing that his daughter's gonna die, like, he's just gonna look at her and want to protect her, like super overprotective now. But he has a very good reason to, consider what happened. But so I don't know if they're gonna tell him. Maybe I don't know, because he might question as to why Zoe's not there. So maybe they will. I don't know. I mean, their faces will probably show whenever he asks them. So, we also, apart from that, we also had the stuff that we went to Nanda Parbat. We got to see Thea again, which is great. I'm kind of sad she didn't get to come with us, but it seems very finalized. I still wouldn't say no if I wouldn't be upset. I wouldn't complain at all if she showed up in the Crisis. What's it? Not Nissa. Talia. She showed up again. Now Thea and Talia are gonna be they're gonna create this Legion of Heroes now, or League of Heroes. Sorry. I think the Thanatos Guild is done for. Like, they're done now. And Oliver and Thea too learned about the Monitor, unless that's supposed to be the Anti-Monitor. So there's that, because I know that they kind of somewhat look similar-ish. So maybe that's supposed to be the Anti-Monitor that it's talking about, but at the same time, it's like the Monitor does kind of bring chaos as well before the good comes. So I mean, it's like he kind of starts it. Because there's the reason that Anti-Monitor, at least in the comics, is going after, like, the antimatter wave is going through the earth, is so that he can become stronger and take out the Monitor. So it's kind of not his fault, but the reason he's kind of the reason why this is happening. Yeah, I don't know if that's supposed to be the Anti-Monitor in the book that they found. But yeah, okay. So I'm just really excited to get into this episode. So without further ado, let's just get into it.
Oh my God, Dad. William? Hey.
Dad, you're so young.
Dad,
What is this? How did they get here?
I don't know. Those are my kids.
Your kids?
I'm sorry, what year is this? It's 2019.
What year is it supposed to be?
2040. Felicity and I wanted to tell you.
Oliver, as far as excuses go, a cosmic being asking you to sacrifice your life to save the entire universe is a pretty good one.
Look, those kids have 20 years of stuff we don't know.
There's something I should tell you. I'm gay. Anybody I know. You know? Yeah. Felicity and I knew. And we just, well, we hoped that you were gonna come out to us when you were comfortable. You clearly didn't get that chance. And that's on me. So, I'm sorry. You know, she can be a little bit stubborn and hard to reach sometimes. Shocker. Where'd she get that from? I guess.
Oh man, that's awesome at least.
I'm just gonna have a look.
Whoa! Jesus! Well, you're dead. Sorry. What's going on? I'm trying to remember what the... JJ, god dang it.
Starling General was attacked.
Oh, the Vic is some rich Wall Street type, and those guys are easy to hate. They're not all bad.
Is he playing her?
Say what? Please tell me Zoe is too. How is Zoe? I mean, are you guys still friends? Yeah, she's... You'd be proud.
Hello, Bunker. Oh, it feels so
Hey!
good to be back. Wait, are those the kids from the future? Those are definitely the kids from the future. Oh my God. Excuse me, we're gonna talk about this, Councilman Ramirez. This is so cool. I may have that coffee on the plane, and by may have, I mean I definitely did have it. Wait, but I just got here, and I have so many questions. Started with, why did nobody say anything about my beard?
Because you curse, your beard looks tremendous, okay? I mean, look, otherwise, I'd like you to stay.
Speaking of which, I'm a little upset you didn't tell me about her, but that's okay. Forgive you. So why'd you call him big guns?
JJ will kill Dad if he gets in his way.
This is on us. It's on us to avenge Zoe.
Guys, they're a little bit more experienced than you are. Come on.
Don't move. Or we all go boom.
I'm going to call your pops. Oh.
JJ.
Hold up. Did they all show up here too?
What the hell is JJ?
Crap. Okay, never mind.
Great.
On my mark. 3, 2, 1. Go!
What about the other ones? Was there more? They're in trouble.
In the future, Grant trains a new leader, someone who eventually takes over the Destros. It's JJ.
You told me JJ was fine.
Dad, I'm sorry.
Zoe was with Mia, and...
And what?
JJ killed her. I'm so sorry, Renee.
Renee.
What if what we do today doesn't make a damn difference about tomorrow?
This is my fault. I'm sorry. I should have told you sooner.
Then tell me now, Connor.
You know, it was like I had stole the love that should have been his. Maybe if I had been a better son, JJ would have never broken bad and Zoe would still be alive. Dad, please say something.
Dad. Connor.
Dick, come on.
Since the moment you got here, you have done nothing but lie to me.
How am I supposed to wake up every morning knowing how many days we have left together?
By trying to change what happens. Trying every single day.
How could you just abandon us?
Because I chose to keep you safe, and I chose right.
You just wanted to be a hero. So you put your mission above your family.
I'm
I'm not letting you go out there.
Nissa Al Ghul trained me. You want to see how
I
well?
beat her
I'm
countless
gonna fight
times.
you. I'm your father.
Really? Because from where I stand, you're just some guy in my way.
Mia.
And I'm saying that from experience.
You have kids in the future?
Oh, God, no. I mean, don't get me wrong, kids are a miracle or whatever, but I was actually referring to when I left you to go live with Grandma and Grandpa.
Yeah, that one's still pretty fresh for me.
I hated you for abandoning me.
I tried.
True, but I wanted you to try harder. Push a little more. I think that's all any child wants from their parents.
Renee, look.
John, we're good. You too, Connor. I can't be mad at either of you for something I will never let happen.
All right. We set up one team to go after Grant, one team to destroy the relay device, but we also need to keep the public calm this time.
Brought you a new addition to the drunk tank. Watch him for a sec.
Hey, you got the time?
Uh-oh.
What the hell? Get out of my way.
No. Hate me if you want. I'm not letting you do this.
You okay?
I would have killed him.
I know. And I know you didn't want to.
Thank you.
I don't want to be a reminder of everything bad that happened to JJ. And to your family.
Connor. You are my family, son.
I'm sorry, Dad. I really am.
It's all right. It's okay. I'm sorry, too.
You've lost people, right?
Yeah, too many.
Does the guilt ever leave?
No. You can learn to live with it. I can help you with that, Mia. If you'd like.
We've been told we're low income, we're uneducated, we're a lost cause. And if you hear that enough times, all you can do is hope that things will get better later. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of waiting for the day when people stop being afraid of the Glades and start coming here to raise their families. We don't wait for our future in the Glades. We make our future now.
Special delivery.
Okay, this is the best late night snack you can ever have.
Well,
One, I don't have the tools to do it. Two, it is super illegal because it requires plutonium, you know, the bomb-making kind. Luckily, there's a guy, military general.
Okay, where is he?
Russia.
Oh.
You must be the monitor.
How do you know?
Because no human would actually wear something so ridiculous.
You ache for the world you lost, and I possess the power to restore it. You must betray Oliver Queen.
Is that actually the monitor? I know the anti-monitor looks different, or he's supposed to look different, but I'm wondering if they're going, like, he can make himself look more like the monitor in this one. I don't know, in this, in their iteration of it. because I don't recall. Again, I haven't finished it, so I don't know the extent of his abilities. Maybe at the end he can bring back Earth's, but because I know they've mentioned before that when the Earth is destroyed, they said that in the comics and they kind of said it here. No, they've said it here too. The Earth 2 is destroyed, so it can be brought back. It's gone for good. So I thought, so him saying that I have the power to bring it back seems strange. Because the struggle is supposed to be that he can't bring it back. That's why, this whole thing is happening. Why he needs help from the heroes, and in the comics the villains. Well, I guess in here too, because he did bring Lex back to life, but I don't know. I'm not sure what they're going for, how they're adapting exactly in the show for the crossover. They're probably going to change it up a decent amount so that we can still get some surprises out of it, obviously. So I'm not sure how they're going about it, but he's asked her to, if he can do that, the price is to betray Oliver. I don't know if she would do that. I know she mentioned that she doesn't really care for him too much. I feel like that was a little bit more for Mia, her sake. I mean, it's kind of in a nudge. It's kind of a jab at a friend kind of a thing. I don't really care for him. He's kind of a douchebag, but I don't know if I don't think she actually means it, like hates him kind of a thing, or not like him. I mean, they're not necessarily friends, I don't think. They get along all right. But I don't know if she would betray him. I mean, it is to bring back her whole Earth, so that's something very difficult to kind of turn down. So, but anyway, going to the rest of the episode. Off the bat, Mia didn't quite get along with Oliver. She's the one dealing with the guilt and the emotion of that Zoe died and she feels it's her fault, which it kind of is. I mean, it was her idea to go attack the Deathstrokes, so it was her fault that Zoe was there in the first place, and that kind of led to her being killed. So she has that. She's kind of she's still kind of she's a teenager, right? She's 18, 19. She's pretty young still. Let's see, it's 2040. So she's about 20 years old. 2021. She doesn't seem, I don't know. I know Kat's probably pretty about that age, not a little bit older, but she just doesn't seem like it. I guess. I don't know. No, yeah, either way, she just seems a little younger than 20 for some reason. But yeah, she's still kind of, I know that's probably not going to rub some people the wrong way, but to be fair, I mean, it does kind of bother me. I'm not gonna lie, because her dad is dead. He left to protect them, but it's hard to kind of, I don't know, to not think that he left to be a hero. She doesn't know him, so all she has is the emptiness that was left whenever he went to go save the world, or the multiverse. I don't think did they tell her the extent of it? I don't know if they mentioned the whole thing with the crisis. I'm pretty sure Felicity didn't mention it to them, to Mia. So I don't know if they brought it up to the kids. They didn't. I mean, I know William knows about he knows Curtis was trying to analyze the fabric that was apparently clipped by the antimatter wave. Where did he get that from? I'm trying to recall. Did he just snag it from some random person, or was it part of his costume outfit? I don't know. So I mean, I understand. I just feel she was. It's the fact that we know why he did what he did, what he went through, and how he's been feeling this whole time, having left his kids. It was hard for me to get over that, but I do see where she's coming from. Again, she's a kid. Well, she's kind of a kid. She's not much younger than I am. But I'm glad by the end of it, they at least are able to get past that. It's kind of more so she was holding on to that anger that was kind of keeping her from really letting herself let Oliver get closer. I thought it was cool though, like whenever they got back, and they were getting ready to attack where Grant actually was, they like Oliver was giving out orders and he was planning out the routes. Basically, she was kind of seeing her dad, actually, operating tactically. Seeing how a leader, someone with experience, actually like leads a team. How they plan things out instead of just rushing right in. So I thought that was kind of a cool sort of learning experience for her, and just seeing her dad like that. I didn't really show it, but I feel like she was probably, deep down, under the anger, she was proud of that. And I feel like she could definitely learn from Oliver. Like apart from the fact that that he can show her how to live with the guilt that doesn't ever go away from when those around you die on the line, on the front line. But I love the scenes with him and William, like especially when they were at their old apartment, and whenever he tells Oliver that he's gay, and Oliver just like, I know, we Felicity and I, we knew, but we wanted you to come out to us on your own time. That was a really nice moment. I really loved seeing, like, we didn't really see that they knew, that they questioned as to why he was dealing with issues in school, but I guess like they realized afterwards, or they didn't address it. But I like that they showed here that they realized what was going on, and that he was obviously, we saw Oliver was just overwhelmingly happy that William felt he could come out to him in the first place, and just like the kind of like the joke around with each other, whenever he was telling about how Mia's like, she's stubborn, I was like, I wonder where she gets that from. I don't know, maybe mom. I really like seeing those moments with them. I like that they were able to get past, like William immediately just jumped over that hurdle. He was like, yeah, I haven't seen you in years. I'm glad I can finally see you. I'm overjoyed. He went straight for the hug, and Oliver he was like, what, William? That kind of made me emotional at that part, whenever William and Oliver were hugging. And I do get also, like, when they decided not to tell the group at first about JJ and what the future was actually like, and what, basically everything about the future. They lied about 90% of it. There's the parts with Nighthawk and the Canaries. They mentioned that. I think Connor more so let the Canaries part slip. But I don't think it was made it slip. Then he realized, like, oh wait, Zoe was on that, so I don't want to go into that. So I'm just gonna steer away from that. But JJ was worried that, or Connor was worried that, if Dig found out about JJ, he'd blame him. That, especially the fact that he also didn't want to tell him that he almost killed him, like he had almost killed his blood son, or his I don't know, well, his other son. He'd feel like he wouldn't want to adopt him, that he wouldn't want to have anything to do with him. So I like they have good reasons, I feel, as to why they didn't want to say anything. It's still frustrating because I'm like, God dang it, I know these guys won't turn their back. I mean, there was obviously that initial, like, at first, because his son that he knows right now, like before they all showed up, Dig's son is not what JJ is in the future. So finding out that he becomes this, and that Connor kept that from them, I think that's also the issue, and they kept all this other stuff from them. And the fact they also told him that Zoe died. They told Renee that, which that broke my heart, man. Seeing Renee find out that his daughter doesn't make it in the future. And then there was that conflict between Ray and Dig for a bit, which is, it's kind of hard to kind of separate yourself from the fact that that's not our kids now. Your son kills my daughter in the future. It's kind of difficult. And I was really worried that Mia was going to try to kill young JJ. But JJ hasn't reached that point yet. Like, he hasn't reached the point where he starts to turn. So he's they haven't adopted Connor yet. So it's kind of they're very very messed up. But I was worried whenever Connor calls him dad at one point. Speaking of real quick before I get into that, I really love that Connor is just calling him dad. Like I don't remember. I know that whenever he was talking to Jade, he referred to him as dad and stuff. But it's just like it's like imagining like you have a kid. He's like 5 or something, and then you meet. It's different here because it's the same one, but like you meet your son grown up, and then he's like loving, like he obviously he cares for you, has love for you, and he calls you dad. It's just like that's a very like moment. But whenever he called him that during that right after the Renee and Dig confrontation, when he calls him that, Dig's like dad. And I was worried like I'm not your dad, Connor. I was worried that was gonna go that route, but he was just like, this stuff happened. What do you want me to say? Like, how do you expect me to react to this? What do you think I should be saying to you right now? And then he walks away, which I'm really glad that it didn't go. It was like, I'm not your dad. Don't call me that. I don't have anything to do with you. I was like, come on, Dig, please. Renee is obviously he was with Zoe, which we haven't seen her since the last season. I don't remember what episode, but I think it's the first time we've seen her this season, which is we only have 4 episodes, so it's fair. But there's only 10 episodes, so that's like we're almost half the amount of episodes, and we only have 4 more weeks. Well, actually, no, we only have 5 more weeks. So the crossover, right? But at the end, he realizes, I can't keep her in a bubble. It's one that wouldn't be a life. I don't think he says that, but it's basically like, I can't just keep her contained. I have to let her live. But we can do whatever we have to change our future. To strive for a better future. And I really liked Renee's speech and when he's giving a speech for mayor. Renee's just grown so much since we first met him. Like I really did not like him when we first met him. He was so obnoxious, like such a hothead that was very frustrating and just getting in the way. But he's grown so much, and I really love Renee a lot. Like I love his character. Which was why I was like worried when I think it was sixth season. Like I thought he was gonna die. I was worried about that because especially that scene when they had him call his daughter and he's telling her that he loved her and stuff. I'm really hoping like they told him like that he basically became a corrupt politician. I'm really hoping that this kind of steers him away from that. I'm hoping, like I know I said like I don't know how I feel about them changing the future considering we've had the flash forwards. That's the only reason though. The only reason I'm not really sure about them changing it is just because we've had them. And like what would that would make what we saw moot. But I think it was more so to be like, this is what could happen. This is what is set to happen right now thus far. But we can, now that we've seen what the future of the events right now, we see where the future will take us. Now that we know this, we can do better. So I'm hoping like there's always a lot of issues with time travel though. So I mean like there's what Barry did, stopping his mother dying, that created a ripple of some things were good, some things were bad. The same thing can happen here. Probably will, but it's just as a whole, like the whole city, this whole city is like in the future is terrible, So hopefully that can be that. Hopefully that's what they're going for. Like somebody mentioned that maybe hopefully the spinoff because I know that there's a spinoff about with the Canaries, and I know it's called like the Canaries and Green Arrow or something like that. I know it's supposed to be like Mia. I was thinking that they were gonna send the kids back to their time, but somebody mentioned maybe they won't. Maybe they'll be spending their time in the present, and they'll be working towards making the future better. So that'd be kind of cool actually. If that's kind of what the flash forwards are for, is to kind of give us something that we need to fight against that future, then the flash forwards kind of have more meaning to it, and I hope it goes that route instead, instead of like heading towards this future that we don't want. I thought JJ was the one that was brought up because it looked like the same outfit. Like I thought it was. I'm pretty sure it wasn't supposed to be. Maybe I don't know, but like. Turns out it was Grant, who we haven't seen since I think it was season 1 of Legends that he showed up. Yeah, it was season 1 of Legends. We haven't seen him since then. They never actually showed him in Arrow. I don't think they only showed Joe. Right? Is that his name? Yeah, I think it was the 6th season. Whenever Slade asked Oliver for help to rescue his son. No, yeah, it would turn out to be Grant, who taught JJ to be like he trained him to be the leader for the Deathstrokes, which sucks. But yeah, they sent him to Blackgate in Gotham. I don't know if that's gonna keep. I mean, people tend to break out from DC prisons or asylums of sorts, so I don't know. I mean, we could just continuously just keep attacking him, stopping him, putting him away. But there's also the fact that now that Dig knows, that they kind of focused a little too much on, not too much, but they solely focused on Connor, or it was just him. He said Connor didn't mention Lila again. I don't think, did they? Let me see. But like now that he knows though, like maybe they can. He didn't say either, like whether it was, he didn't just say him. He said you took me in, but that past that he never said, whether it was just them that kind of solely, like they focused only on him and kind of neglected neglected JJ. But I don't know. I'm wondering because I know Lila's supposed to be, she's supposed to be the one that betrays Monitor. So at least in the comics, I don't know if they're gonna go that route in this one. But again, as I said a second ago or before, knowing what kind of seems to have driven JJ to that point, he can more so try to divvy up. Like he can. It's different because if Lila isn't there and he's doing it on his own, it's kind of difficult to not being able to having 2 kids on your own and being able to devote your attention to both of them fully. Because Connor said, like, he was rebellious probably because he was pissed at his dad. He said he was rebellious and angry because his dad, I'm assuming, he was killed. So he's angry and he's sad that his dad's gone. So this feels like it's not right. You're not my dad. I don't belong here. So they had to focus even more so because of that on Connor to help him realize and get past that the angst and the anger, because I think he mentioned how to Jade whenever he and JJ had the conversation about getting to drugs and dealing drugs and later on, and JJ is the one that got in trouble for that because he held JJ responsible. So hopefully they can do things a little bit differently. But who knows? I don't know again how Lila, like how she's gonna fit into this. Maybe Dinah can help because she doesn't have any kids right now. She can at least help out, like how she. I mean, Zoe sees her as Aunt Dinah, so maybe they can do that with JJ too. Dig says, was it Dig or Dinah? Somebody said that that JJ adores Zoe. I think it was Dinah. So I feel like they could have the same relation as well, like Dinah and JJ. So maybe she can help them out with that whole thing, like with being able to give attention to both of them and make them both feel loved and wanted. So here's hoping. I don't know how exactly they're gonna go about fixing the JJ issue. I really like that because usually William, he called Felicity just Felicity, like at least young William. I don't recall. Did he call Felicity Mom in the future? The flash forwards. I don't remember, but he like whenever Oliver was getting ready to call Felicity, he was like, well, we probably shouldn't bring Mom into this. Let her know that we're here. I just like that he called her Mom. That was just kind of heartwarming. But yeah, he kind of made a point. We don't know how this whole future thing works, but we're kind of changing the future too. So it's like, maybe let her know, because she's not really gonna get to see you kids until if we change the future, because there's still like the Night Circle. So I don't know how we're gonna deal with that. But anyway, also we saw Oliver kind of get emotional realizing that his 2 kids never knew each other until recently. They never met up until I don't know how long they've been they've known each other now like a year, maybe a few months. But yeah, he kind of he felt like he was hurt and he felt guilty by that fact. Like I'm sorry you guys never knew about each other. You just found out about it. So that was I feel really bad for Oliver. Like he's got to deal with so much. Like first the guilt and the heartache with having to leave his family, and now seeing his kids. Like there's like that whiplash of just like these are my kids. They're growing up. I can see them growing up. Like even though I'm not gonna be able to see them grow up, I've now seen them as adults. You know, I can be proud of them. He mentioned like I can see myself, or I can see being proud of you when he was talking to William because of like what he's done with him with his what he was working on before when he was a kid, when he was 13 or when he was however old he was at that point. And he brought it up to into a business. He's a mogul now and he's a billionaire, which is crazy. Renee, I like Renee's reaction. He's like, no way. And then he deals with Mia kind of not wanting to deal with, not really wanting to, almost acting like she doesn't have anything to do with him. Trying to push him away, telling him that you're basically a stranger, which is fair because I mean this is the first time she's ever seen him ever, or physically like actually seen him, not just in a picture. So that I don't know. This is a bunch of emotional roller coaster and whiplash that Oliver had to deal with, and I felt terrible for. But luckily they seem to be on at least a better, slightly smoother road now. So hopefully that'll continue on throughout the rest of the time we have together. I think other people probably say, I know other people probably say this statement, but I think I've heard Felicity say, surprise, surprise, whenever she's doing her hacking thing and she's talking to the gang. I like that while William was in her chair, her old chair, he basically says to her, I'm pretty sure she said that anyway. I mean, I know that's probably that's very much a common-ish phrase. Anybody could say it, but it's just the whole thing that she said it and while she was doing her hacking thing with the team, and he's in the same spot that she was beforehand, saying the same thing. I don't know. I just kind of felt very reminiscent of the team. And I like it was cool seeing Curtis too. I mean, we saw him at was it the finale last season? Yeah, I think it was. It was good seeing him again. I'm glad they brought him in for the episode. I did not know he was going to be in here. I'm wondering if he's going to be in for the up until the rest of it. Because I mean, is he going to leak? Because he's the one that told Oliver about this guy he knows in Russia, this general. So I don't know if he's going to be helping him out through that, or if he's after this episode, Curtis is gone again. I mean, there's only a few episodes left, so it would be kind of cool if we had Curtis in here, because it seems like William, he's not exactly as familiar with the hacking of like this time. Like it's a little bit different procedures that he has to go through. So Curtis is able to help him out with that. I mean, William could probably figure it out with the help of Curtis. He'd probably get a handle on it, considering he's from the future. But I don't know, maybe not, because it's hard for a lot of kids these days to kind of figure out old technology. Like it's like, oh my god, what is this? Because what's it? I just blanked what they're called. Cassettes. Like that's ancient technology to most of them. And we saw Mia. She didn't know how to deal with, like, there was a voice answering machine cassette, a mini cassette. So like she had no idea how the heck that thing worked. But it was cool seeing like even how Curtis mentions like, look at us. What is it? Holt and Smoke 2.0 working together. William was like, huh? But I like that. I was like, yeah, dude, that's true. It's like it's because it's Curtis and Felicity's kid working together and doing hacking for the team. It's just cool. Like I like that what they did with this episode a lot. I like that Laurel was able to convince Mia to not go ahead with killing Grant. Well, that she was trying to anyway. Because I mean, I thought she came back because they, that she decided not to. But it was just because they didn't find anything. I spaced on that for some reason. They just went there to investigate more, see if they missed anything. But I like that she was trying to convince her, like she convinced Felicity not to kill Diaz. I do like that at the end it was Oliver that stood her in a way, because he knew, one, that she would have killed him, but he also knew that she didn't want to, and that would have changed, because I don't think has she killed anyone yet? I don't remember. Maybe she hasn't. I feel like she has. Either way, I'm glad that they had that moment. Like, I know you didn't want to kill her, and it would kill Grant, and it would change you or something, or it would just killing out of revenge is just different instead of a self-defense kind of a thing. It was also really cool. Sorry, it was also really cool seeing Oliver and Mia in their respective suits working together, even though they split off later on to kind of deal with separate things. I just like seeing like they both are walking down the stairwell together with their bows, with their does she have a hood? I know she has the jacket, but you know their costumes essentially. It was like bring your dad to work day or bring your kid to work day, vigilante style. um, it was just a really cool moment seeing them being able to work together, even though they kind of didn't work together. But it was cool seeing them together, I guess, in their outfits. And while in the field in their outfits, Oliver did get in the way, and he was able to, convince her to not shoot him, and to kill Grant. The scene where I know I mentioned the part where anytime Connor would call it like present day dad, it always like hit me in the heart. But then whenever like he confronts him at the end, and he's trying to tell him that he doesn't blame him, and that he's his family. When he says that, Connor just like he see him kind of like getting ready I think he was tearing up, and he's just like trying he's apologetic, and he's like, Dad, I'm sorry. He didn't say I'm sorry. He's like Dad, and I'm like, oh, dude, I like their dynamic, like what little interaction they've had thus far. I really feel like it's dad and son. Like even though he's an adopted son, like he's adopted, and he's like he's new to Dig, so quickly we kind of sort of feel that. I feel like they did a pretty good job with all with the connections with all the future kids and their parents. Like Mia took a little bit just because she was being so distant, but you understood why. At least I feel like you could. Some people might have an issue with that, which is fair. William, definitely you could feel that was really, I really love the moments between William and Oliver. But with Connor and Dig, like that scene at the end, it was great. And also seeing them train together, sparring with the Escrimas, that's so cool. Forget they're both like, it's not fair. They're both like Jack. I mean, obviously Dig is just like supernaturally or unnaturally big, but still, I mean, he's not. He's just jacked. But Dave Ramsey's just a big dude. But I mean, what's his name? Dave. Oh shoot, Joseph, I think his name is. I think that's the actor for Connor. He's younger, so I mean he has time. But either way, I like that little scene whenever like during Renee's speech too, kind of reaching out to the Glades and telling them they're telling us we're not worth something, but and because of that telling us that we're wanting to put off getting better till later, so we need to do this now. I like while they're showing the scenes between everybody, like Connor and Dig training, connecting more, and Laurel and Dinah being friends actually, which is crazy considering how they first started. But yeah, I really like all the connections of the future kids and the present parents, the parents that we know, their connections. I feel like their connections work out pretty well. Well, guys, I think that's all I've got for this week's episode. Whew. I thought this was great. This was amazing. Like this, I can't say it enough. I feel like because that a shorter season, they can, they don't have to spread things out. It's just sturdy writing. I don't know if that's the right word, the phrasing I'm looking for. But it's solid writing. That's what I was trying to go for. Solid writing. There's not a whole lot that I'm just not. There wasn't really anything I wasn't interested in. Like I was getting frustrated with bits, but only because I want them to have a relationship. But you knew it was going to happen at least probably by the end of the episode, which luckily that was the case. Even to the point where he made her the sandwich that William was like, oh, okay, this is great. You're gonna be blown out of your mind when you try this. But yeah, because of the fact that it's just so short, it's their final season. They're gearing up for a crazy, emotional, fulfilling, satisfying, yet not satisfying just because it's ending. I don't foresee there to be a bad episode, in my opinion. I don't know. There might be. Again, I've said this before. There might be. There's always the possibility. But I don't know. I'm just very optimistic, and I'm super excited for the next episode and the crossover, which is so soon. I'm not ready. But yeah, again, super excited for next episode. But guys, for now, that's it for this week's episode of Arrow. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want to stick around for next week's episode, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Also, if you'd like to support us, go ahead and check out our Patreon, where you get access to polls to vote on shows you want us to react to next when we need replacements, and early access videos. Link to our Patreon will also be in the description down below. Again, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you all next week.